my car is traveling 83 miles per hour. How many feet per second? This is a two-part conversion. Which one do we want to start with? Miles or hours?
Hours.
Let's start with hours, okay. So I want to convert from hours to what?
Minutes.
Minutes, so hours on top or bottom? Top. 1 hour,
60 minutes.
60 minutes. Okay. Now minutes to seconds.
60 seconds equals 1 minute.
So minutes on top or bottom?
Top.
1 minute, 60 seconds. So I've gone hours, gone minutes. So now I have miles to miles per second. So convert miles to feet. What's the ratio?
12 feet. Oh wait, 5,280 feet per mile.
So miles on top or bottom?
Bottom.
Bottom. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. Okay. Miles canceled. What units am I left with?
Feet per second.
Feet per second, which is what I wanted. So feet per second. Calculator. 83 times 5,280. Divided by 60. Divided by 60. What's my answer?
121.73.
121.73. What's the units?
Feet per second.
Feet per second. So at 83 miles an hour, I'm traveling 121 feet per second. What would the pioneers think? So how about I have 39 cups of sugar. How many teaspoons do I have?
Wait, what is the conversion for teaspoons?
There's not one in there. We'll just have to know it. So how many tablespoons are in a cup? Anybody know? Okay. 16 tablespoons in 1 cup. Okay.
Is that true?
That is true. And then I can go from tablespoons to teaspoons.
2?
2 to 1.
Close. 3. So 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. So then tablespoons cancels.
Yeah.
Calculator. 39 times 16 times 3 equals 1,872 teaspoons in 39 cups. How many gallons is that? So it goes from cups. How do I get to gallons?
4 quarts per, or 4 cups per quart.
1 quart, 4 cups. Cups cancel. And then what's quarts to
1 gallon.
4 quarts? So quarts on bottom. 1 gallon. So quarts cancels.
16.
So 39 divided by 4. Divided by 4 again. 2.44 gallons. 39 cups is
Just shy of 2.5 gallons.
2.44 gallons. How about I have a swimming pool that measures 8 feet by 15 feet. Let's start by finding the area of the pool. So what's the formula for area?
Times width.
Length times width. Okay, so what's the area of my pool? Right? 8 times 15 is 120, and feet times speed is feet squared. So I have 120 square feet. Let's convert that to square yards to start. So what's the feet to yards ratio?
3 to 1.
1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So if I square all that, what happens to my ratio?
1 square yard equals 9 square feet.
1 square yard is equivalent to 9 square feet. So I have 120 square feet. I want to convert that to square yards. What goes on top? What goes on bottom?
Feet on bottom.
Feet on bottom. So I have 9, 1 yard squared. Okay, feet cancel, feet cancel.
Looks out to be 13.3.
13.33 square yards. How many square miles? What would I need to figure that one out?
Conversion back to feet and then miles.
Okay, so how do I do that?
We already know.
In 1 mile,
Okay.
there's 5,280 feet.
So 1 mile, 5,280 feet. So square it. What does it turn into? 1 square mile is
27,878,400
feet squared. Okay, so let's go from yards back to square miles. So I have square yards. Now where do I go?
You take it back to feet.
Take it back to feet. So yards on top or bottom? Bottom. 1 square yard. 9 square feet. Yards cancel.
120.
And then miles on top or bottom?
Bottom. Wait, miles on top.
Okay. 1 square mile on top. And that lovely number on bottom. Feet squared. So then my feet squared cancel out. I'll be left with square miles. So grab your calculator.
We're looking at 120 divided by that.
Yep. Is 0.000004304 square miles.
Okay.
Okay. What else did we do? All right, here's an awesome one. 1 nautical mile is equal to 6,076 feet.
What's a nautical mile?
Measurement over the ocean.
Instead of making a measurement over the land.
It is. Isn't that weird?
How come?
I don't know. It's just 1 nautical mile, 6,706 feet. So let's say Hawaii is What?
A state.
Hawaii is a state. Let's say the distance around Hawaii in nautical miles. Just make up a number for me. Let's say it's
73.
73 nautical miles. How many feet would it be to go around the main island of Hawaii? So what's the conversion?
6,076 feet over 1 nautical mile.
6,076 feet over 1 nautical mile. Okay. So 73 times 6,076 equals 443,548 feet to circumnavigate the island. How many yards? So how do I go from feet to yards? What's the ratio?
3 to 1.
Feet on top or bottom?
Feet on bottom.
Feet on bottom. 3 feet, 1 yard. Okay, feet cancel. $147,849.3. What's my units? Yards. So if you want to give yourself some more practice, you can start here on page 70. Got a couple of pages, like 5 pages of different conversions. We'll just go through a few. And then if you feel like you need more practice, well, let's try 21. It says there are 640 acres in a square mile. So how many square feet are in an acre? How would we set that up? So what do I know? I know there are 640 acres is the equivalent of 1 mile squared. How many square feet are in 1 acre? So 1 acre. That's what I start with. And then what would be the next ratio I used? You need to get to square miles and then to square feet.
So 1 mile squared over 640 acres.
Okay.
Square.
So I know that 640 acres equals 1 square mile. Acres is a squared unit of measurement, right? It's not a singular direction. Okay. So then my acres will cancel. I'm left with square miles. And then I need to go to square feet. What was that ratio of feet to miles?
528 feet to 1 mile.
1 mile, 5,020 feet. Square it. So 1 mile squared.
1,878,400.
878,400 square feet. Okay. So, miles squared to feet squared. Which goes where?
27,878,400 goes on top.
Okay, this number will come down and go on top.
Mile goes on the bottom.
Mile squared goes on the bottom. So miles cancel.
1 acre equals 27 million divided by 640.
Okay, so I would take 27,878,400 divided by 640 equals
43,560.
43,560 560, and what's my unit?
Square feet.
Square feet. Okay. So 1 acre is 43,560 square feet. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of feet. I didn't know my backyard was that big.
How many acres is your backyard?
It used to be 1.2. It is not now, of course. But
1.2 acres?
yes.
Well, that's 600, oh, no, that's equals.
Okay, how about let's try 27. 1 quart can of paint will cover 120 square feet. Okay, so that's the information I know. 1 quart will cover 120 square feet. 1 quart of paint will cover 120 square feet. How many cans will it take to paint a patio deck that is 40 feet by 90 feet? So what should I do first?
Find out how many square feet is the patio.
Okay, how big is my deck? So 90 feet by 40 feet. So my area is going to equal what?
3,600.
Yep, length times width. And then what unit of measurement do I put on that?
Square feet.
Square feet. So feet times feet is feet squared. Okay, so that's the area I need to cover with paint. How many cans of paint does it take to cover? So what do? I have 2 equations. 1,
Are these,
2.
are these 1 gallon cans or 1 quart?
It's a 1 quart can, and 1 quart will cover. So let's start with my feet measurement. That's how much area I have to cover. Now what should I do?
Divide 120 into 36.
Okay, so there's my next information. I want to go from feet to quarts. So 120 square feet and 1 quart. Okay, and it says how many cans. So if this were me doing the problem, I would say 1 quart of paint is equal to 1 can. Does that make sense? So I went from feet, square feet I need to cover, to number of cans I need. So 3,600 divided by 120. How many cans do I need? 30 cans of paint. What if I bought my paint in a gallon instead of in a quart? Can I use the same formula? Okay, what should I do?
Are you gonna, you just do 1 gallon equals, or a can equals 1 gallon.
So I can get 120 feet out of 1 quart, and then I want to convert quarts to gallons.
4 quarts equals gallons.
So 4 quarts, 1 gallon. So quarts are gone, feet's gone. So how many gallons? I need 7.5 gallons of paint. Is that easier than buying 30 quarts? 7.5 gallons.
So my only problem with these, once it's, like when you're writing them down up there, I can, once it's started, I can fly through it and figure out what I'm looking for.
How to start it?
Yeah, it's how to start, like on the assignment you gave us, converting US units of area. 1 square yard, you know, obviously know what that is. How many square feet are in a square yard?
Okay.
Getting started on that is what is where I get lost.
Okay, I would
Where to start?
start writing out what you know. So if you're talking about feet and yards, start by writing what you know about feet and yards. And if you're doing square, then square it.
Alright, so let's do this right then. 36, or no, 3 feet equals 1 yard.
Read the problem to us, Eddie.
How many square feet are in a square yard?
Okay, so what do I know about feet and yards?
There's 3 feet in 1 yard.
1 yard, 3 feet. And then what happens when I square it?
Becomes 9 feet squared over 1 yard squared.
Okay, then what did the problem ask?
How many square feet are in a square yard? So it would be 9. So we already answered.
Okay. So then let's say I have, my bedroom is 13 square feet. I need to buy a new piece of carpet and it's sold by the square yard. How many square yards am I going to need to recover my bedroom floor?
You have a small bedroom.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's all right.
This is my
You get to stand up
pantry.
with your closet.
Okay. How do I convert that into square yards?
One's blank.
Using the one
Yeah, using
square
that
yard
one.
over 9.
Okay, I use that one I just figured out. Yards of
And 9
feet.
feet will go on the bottom.
So 9 feet go on the bottom, 1 yard on the top. So my feet will cancel out. I'll be left with square yards. What is it?
13 divided by 9.
13 divided by 9. So I need a 1.44 square yard piece.
You can afford it.
I can afford it. Okay, so let's say the store where I buy this from charges $73 per square yard as long as I buy a minimum of 2 yards. If I buy less than 2 yards, then I'll pay $73 per square yard plus a $50 fee. So let's figure it out. So how much do I need?
1.44 yards.
1.44 square yards. How much is it per yard?
73.
Okay, so I would put 1 square yard equals $73. Does that make sense how I wrote that? Okay, so then how do I figure out what I pay?
Add
Okay, so then I pay $105.44
plus 50.
plus a $50 charge. So I'll pay $155.44 to recarpet that room.
It's cheaper to buy 2 yards.
It's cheaper to buy 2 yards
Okay,
squared.
And
How
have
is
the extra.
it?
Because you calculated the same thing, but instead of 1.44 yards squared, it's 2.
okay, so let's do that.
It's not plus 50.
2 square yards. So what's my cost per square yards?
73.
$73. Okay. So 73 times 2 is $146. So if I just bought a 2 yard piece, I would save
yourself.
myself almost $100 and have some extra carpeting, right?
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be teaching math? Almost $100. That's only $9.
Sorry. $9. Instead of 155, I'd spend 146
And have a little extra.
and have some extra carpet.
You can start on that fort you've always wanted.
That's right. Carpet my fort. Okay. Let's see. There's a yucky looking one. How many cubic feet of air is in a room 24 feet by 42 feet by 10 feet?
So the first thing you have to do is do the cube.
Okay, so here's my room. and it's cube. So what are the measurements? 24 by 42 by 10. So how do I find the volume of this cube?
Times the three together.
Length times width times height.
10,080.
10,080. So my volume, what's the unit of measurement? No. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Volume, 1080. What's the units?
It's 10,080.
You tell me. Is that what you just said?
10,080. I think is it right?
24 times 42 times 10,080. Okay, what's my unit of measurement?
Square. What did you say? Feet or yards?
Feet times feet times feet is how many feet?
Feet cubed.
Feet cubed. Feet cubed. So the volume of the room, 10,080 cubic feet.
What was the original question?
It's right in your book on page 71, number 29. 10,080 cubic feet of air in this room with these dimensions. How many cubic yards of air? So before I can do that, what do I need to do? What do I know about
Feet are in a yard.
feet and yards? What do I know?
1 yard.
1 yard, 3 feet
Cubed
cubed,
is 9 cubic feet.
1 cubic yard, and then 3 cubed.
Oh, 27.
27 cubic feet. Okay, so there's my ratio. 1 cubic yard is 27 cubic feet. So up here,
373.3.
so does feet go on top or bottom?
Bottom.
Bottom. 27 cubic feet. 1 cubic yard. So feet cancel. $373 cubic yards of air in my room.
Was that just a what if? Because the question asked for cubic feet.
Your room grew.
What if? What if my room was tainted by logical weapons? Go on forever. Okay. Here's another one. A bushel is 4 pecks. Not that you'll probably ever use a peck, but a peck is 8 quarts. How many ounces are in 1 bushel? So what
Okay,
do I
first
start
you
with?
turn 1 bushel.
Okay, I start with 1 bushel. There we go.
And there's 4 pecks
Okay.
over 1 bushel.
What I know about bushels is 1 bushel is equal to 4 pecks. What do I know about pecks?
Pecks is 8 quarts.
Okay. 1 peck is 8 quarts.
So 1 peck is 2 gallons.
Then it says how many ounces are in a bushel. So I need to go from quarts to ounces. How do I do that?
Quarts into either pints or cups.
Okay, so I need to go from quarts to something else before ounces. Let's go quarts to pints.
2 pints over 1 quart.
Okay, 1 quart, 2 pints. And then pints to cups. How many cups are in a pint?
2.
2 cups. 1 pint. And then cups to ounces.
16.
Cups on top or bottom?
Bottom.
1 cup, 16 ounces. Okay, make sure everything cancels. Bushels, gone. Pecks, gone. Quarts, gone. Pints, gone. Cups, gone. Left with ounces. And then do the math. So 1 times 4 times 8 times 2 times 2 times 16, 2,048 ounces in 1 bushel.